Hi, I'm John with Green Street Lessons, and today I'll be showing you how to play Born on the Bayou by Creedence Clearwater Revival off their 1969 album Bayou Country. A few notes before we get started. EQ-wise, the bass, mid, and treble are set at 5, 7, and 6, respectively, and throughout the song there's the use of a tremolo effect. You want to go about 50% depth, 175 milliseconds on that. Okay, first things first, the intro. The intro, and most of the song for that fact, is based off an E7 chord shape at the 5th fret. So that's your ring finger on the A string 7th fret, your middle finger on the D string 6th fret, your pinky finger on the G string 7th fret, and your index finger on the B string 5th fret for this chord. And that's used heavily throughout the song, as you can see in the intro here. So that is the lead guitars part for the intro. The rhythm guitar is super easy. Just at the beginning, play that chord. So you'll fret the A string at the 7th fret and play that along with the open E string. And yeah, just have that sustain throughout the intro. Now, this is the first verse for Born on the Bayou. It is based on that E7 shape that I showed you earlier. And there's both a lead and rhythm part. I'm going to start with the lead part. And then the lead guitar continues to play what I just showed you through one more time before moving on to this next part. Still based on the E7 shape, and it goes like this. And the lead will play that through one more time. As for the rhythm guitar, its part is very simple. It's a modified E7 chord. What you want to do is just grip the lower 3 fretted notes of that. So middle finger, A string, 7th fret. Index finger, D string, 6th fret. Ring finger, G string, 7th fret. And you want to kind of overlap the pad of your ring finger onto the B string so it's muted like this. And then you'll let the high E string ring out. And you'll just kind of harp on that chord shape throughout the progression. It goes like this. And that's all there is to it. You'll repeat that several times throughout the first verse. Consult the diagram for the specifics. And that is the lead guitars part for verse 2. Consult the diagram for how many times to play it. And now we'll move on to the rhythms part in verse 2. And that's the only unique figure for verse 2. Otherwise, consult the diagrams, and we will move on to the solo, the first solo. And now the first solo from Born on the Bayou. This solo is based on an E mixolydian shape. And during the solo, the rhythm guitar will play figure 6 7 times, figure 24 4 times, and figure 6 6 more times. The lead guitar will play this. And that is the solo. Now we're going to take a look at the third verse of Born on the Bayou. It introduces a few new figures, which we'll go over. Check the diagrams for how many times and when to play it and such. Figure 25, the first new figure introduced in verse 3, is based on that modified E7 chord shape I showed you earlier, where the B string 5th fret, instead of being fretted, is muted by the finger fretting the G string 7th fret for this chord instead of that chord. And what you're going to do with this is you're going to just kind of strum it in this pattern. So again, keep that triplet feel alive that kind of pervades the whole song. And that's all there is to that. Another little chord flourish is figure 26. Again, based on an E7 shape. There's a slight change in it though. So it goes like... Now, this one's a little tricky. What you want to do is go ahead, grip that E7 chord shape, pluck the low 3 strings, and then the B, G, and D string, the low 3 strings again, and then quickly you'll jump up here, fret the D string at the 6th fret with your first finger, fret the G string on the 7th fret with your 3rd finger, and fret the B string on the 7th fret with your pinky finger for that chord. And then you'll go ahead and drop back, maintain the ring finger on the G string 7th fret, but put your middle finger on the D string 6th fret and your first finger on the B string 5th fret for this chord. And then, leaving your ring finger in the same place, you'll move your first and second finger down here. So middle finger, A string, 7th fret, index finger, D string, 6th fret for this chord. And then you'll just drop your fingers back to the chord shape before that. Now take some time with that. Getting between those chord shapes quickly is difficult, so just play it slow and get it up to tempo. You should be there in no time. Now we'll take a look at figure 27. Pretty easy. E7 chord shape, and it just goes like this. All there is to it. Figure 28, kind of what we looked at in Figure 26, but it goes like this. Figure 29, very similar, goes like this. And then Figure 30 is just that chord partial, just. Alright, that's all there is to verse 3. Everything else we've seen before in this video. Check the diagram for the sequence, and now we will move on to the second solo. Now we'll take a look at the second solo for Born on the Bayou. For the rhythm guitar, consult the diagram. This is what the lead plays. And that is the second solo. Now we're going to move on and show you how to play the fourth and final verse. And now for the final verse of Born on the Bayou. Throughout the other verses, we've cobbled together the vast majority of figures that comprise verse 4. The only figure that we haven't taken a look at is figure 37, which is very similar to figure 25, but it has a little addendum on it. Again, you'll be working with that modified E7 shape, and it goes like this. So that's 37. Yeah, check the diagram. All of the figures should have been explained. And now you know how to play Born on the Bayou by Creedence Clearwater Revival off of their 1969 album, Bayou Country.